I was in the biggest reading slump of my life, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I got out of it. I knew that in order to get myself out of this reading slump, I had to pick up a book from an author I really enjoyed. This psychological thriller is about a woman who leaves a 1-star review for an author who is a little unhinged, and he begins stalking her. Another thing to help myself get out of this reading slump was to give myself a deadline. So I decided to read this book during Summerween, the week-long spooky readathon from Gabby Reads and Olivia Reads a Latte. Running from July 7th through 13th, this read-along features 5 spooky reading prompts to get you in the Halloween mood, even if it is a hot 90 degrees outside. Will these things help me get out of my reading slump? Stay tuned to find out. Checking in here to say that this book is really creeping me out. I think that the author is doing a fantastic job of creating this really tense situation filled with dread, and he's doing a great job at painting this picture of this really isolated setting. So the story is following this young woman. She's house sitting, and if you hear any noise, it's Barlow. She's house sitting for this woman who lives in this home that's basically on an coastal town. House is filled with floor to ceiling windows, and obviously there's no shades. She just is feeling watched all the time, and she's been having these terrifying visions at night of somebody standing there watching her while she sleeps. And I feel like this story is playing on my deepest, darkest fears of being watched and stalked and somebody breaking into my house and murdering me. It feels all too real. And the woman also has a dog, and I'm just like, okay, is this fucking play about us? So yeah, anyway, it's freaking me out, but I'm excited. I'm getting that excitement for reading again with this book. Taylor Adams' last book that I read by him was No Exit, which is a fantastic thriller. And I feel like this one is pretty up there so far. It's really good so far. I'm only about 60 pages in, but this is the most I've read in like a month. The author is so good at building that tension. There's a moment where she's communicating with her next door neighbor who's kind of far away, where they communicate through telescope, and they're playing hangman, and then he goes, "Who's that?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Behind you." The chills that went up my body. Terrifying. It's like that moment in Scream.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
No! No! Or the moment in When a Stranger Calls.
Leave me alone!
Jill, this is Sergeant Sacker. Listen to me. We've traced the call. It's coming from inside the house. Our squad cars in the wheel.
So anyway, I'm here with Barlow, and I'm freaking out a little bit because I gotta go to bed. And she's talking about hearing weird noises and shit. She's very isolated, and my house makes weird noises, including from the dog. So far, so good. It is pulling me in. It's got me going, and I'm excited. I'm terrified, but excited. Day 2 was rainy and dreary. The perfect day to sit around and read, but alas, I need to work to support my book buying habit. And that is exactly what I did for 9 hours. And although it may look like I'm not doing much, inside, I am dying. After my 9 to 5, I was excited to get back into The Last Word because it actually gave me nightmares the night before. I'm about 100 pages into this book, and this motherfucker has gone too far, okay? He's done something that I can't handle. I would rather you just kill me and go after Barlow, okay? And this man, he's just gone too far. It's very upsetting. I hate... this is a spoiler, I guess, but also I don't know what's happening. So these are just crazy thoughts in my head, but I hate when stories introduce pets or feature pets heavily. In movies, you know that once they introduce a pet, especially in a horror movie, that pet is going to die. I hate pet stuff. This character, this woman, this dog is like her lifeline. She loves him like he's her child. He's like the only thing in her life right now. And it's so relatable because I feel those things for Barlow, my dog who's sitting there watching me talk to my phone. If anything were to happen to Barlow, I would need to be committed. I could not deal with life after that point. After that, I just feel like, kill me, go, I'm done, because I need him in my life. He's my child, he's my baby, he's my good boy, and whew, this has got me upset. Okay? But also, I equally love it because it feels old school. Kind of like how No Exit felt a little old school to me. It reminded me of like Black Christmas, When a Stranger Calls, just that that cat and mouse game. The rapport between the villain and our protagonist, and it's so subtle. There's nothing crazy or spectacular about it, but it's just the way that it's happening. It's just so scary to think that you're in a house and the only thing separating you from somebody who wants to harm you is just a door that's probably easily breakable. And I don't know, I'm just scared for this character, but I'm also scared for her dog, and I hope she fucks him up. I am excited to be reading again. It did give me nightmares last night. I have a feeling it might even give me nightmares tonight, because the next day, another 8 hours of work, channeling my inner Tim Robinson. It was a very stressful day, but thank God for cold brew coffee, am I right? I didn't end up vlogging that day because I was too stressed, but I did make an outfit change. Look at how cool I look in my Goosebumps shirt. It's amazing, and you should all get one too, because, I mean, come on, I'm sexy, and I'm cute, I'm popular to boot. Thank you. I'm sorry. Then I finally made it to the final day of Summerween. Will I finish this book in time? Oh, thank God. Thank fuck. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Barlow and I are here to review The Last Word, and we liked it. I finished Summerween, and perhaps I also am getting out of my reading slump. I read this in only a few days. I devoured it, had a lot of fun with it, rated it 4 stars. Oh, Barlow is getting amped. He is amped for this book. The book may have been a little predictable at times, but there were also parts that I didn't predict and that I found some of these revelations to be quite fun and shocking. Overall, it was really entertaining, even if it was a little predictable at times. I still enjoyed the ride. Are you okay, dude? Sir, relax. So yeah, like I said, I think that some books, being predictable isn't bad. I think you should be able to predict where a story's going if the writer lays out the story well. I don't think this was as good as No Exit or as shocking and surprising, but it still had some really great moments. I think the author is really good at writing action sequences. He created a fantastically strong female protagonist who I really enjoyed. I loved learning her backstory and loved seeing her regain her fight for life. I think that once things started to be revealed about the villain towards the second half of the book, I got a little less excited. I think the strongest part of this book was the beginning and following our character in isolation, and she's hearing noises. I could envision myself as her in this situation, and she has her dog who she loves so much and will do anything for, and I just relate so hard to that with Barlow. Overall, I thought the story was interesting. It had a great payoff. I think that everything came full circle really well. So what I have learned is that when you're in a reading slump, sometimes it helps to just pick up a fast-paced thriller from an author who you've enjoyed in the past. And also, I tried to read this for Summerween, so giving myself that time frame, that deadline of, oh shit, I want to read this for this readathon so I can get it done. I work better with the fire under my ass. Is my reading slump over? Hard to tell. Who knows? I'm just very, very happy that I actually picked up a book and read it from start to finish, because I've been struggling over the last month to do that. This was a fun ride. I think this is a great summer read. Perfect for Summerween. I'm glad I had a chance to participate. I think this hit at least one of the prompts. Thank you so much for watching, reading. Let me know if you've read this book, what books you've read recently, what are your best tips for getting out of a reading slump, and Let me know if you love your dog as much as I love mine. Right, bud?